two-time Gatorade Player of the Year. What's the transition like from high school ball in Nevada to college ball here in the Big Ten?
Obviously, it's very different. It's a lot more competitive, but it's been kind of an easier transition just because of like the support I have from like all the people around me.
You mentioned your teammates on the BTN broadcast. You mentioned that your teammates were really what picked you up after maybe a slow start in the circle in that first game. Can you expand on that for me?
Just like I talk about how close we are like all the time, like no matter what's going on, like we're always just like a super tight knit group. And I feel like as a pitcher, like even if you are struggling and like knowing that like you have like the 7 girls behind you that are gonna pick you up like no matter what, like I feel like it just kind of like eases you a little bit and like I don't know, just helps me relax.
You got to participate in that big fourth inning in the first game today. But seeing your team have your back, get those runs, and be a part of it, even what was that like for you?
It just makes me feel like happy because they're not only like picking up me, but they're picking up everyone else. So like even if someone has like a bad at bat or has like like a bad ground ball, something happens, like someone's gonna pick them up like literally the next pitch, and I just think it's super cool.
You said it was a pretty easy transition. Has it been more difficult in the circle or at the plate, would you say?
I don't really know. I just feel like confidence has been something that I've been working on, and I just feel like if I'm like confident in my abilities, like, and my teammates are confident in me, like I feel like that just goes like a lot farther both ways.
I haven't seen a two-way player before in college softball, and it's certainly pretty rare in baseball. But what's it take to be a two-way player?
I just am constantly like I feel like working. Like practices are kind of crazy, like going from like pitching and fielding and hitting and stuff. But I mean, we make it work. Coach Carl is really good about like making sure I'm getting like, and not just me, like everyone is getting the reps that they need because almost all of our pitchers hit too. And so like making sure that they're getting the hitting and like the defense and stuff.
Do you prefer to play first base or do you prefer to pitch?
I think I would definitely prefer to pitch, but I like to hit, so I'm good with playing both.
How would this for a question comparing the hitting and pitching, home run or like the game-winning strikeout? Like what would feel better, do you think, or what feels better?
I would probably say like the game-winning strikeout, just because like it's finished, it's over. Like home run could be, I don't know, we're down by like 20, I guess. I don't know.
And then I guess you mentioned the chemistry this team has. Where does it come from? What's allowed you guys to have that in a year that's been full of ups and downs?
I just think like the year that's been full of ups and downs has really brought us like super close. Like we have no one else to lean on but each other. And I just think the fact that we are literally with each other every single day, like a couple hours a day together, like there's no other option other than for us to be close.
What was that first game like when your freshman year, that first time you hit the turf or the dirt or whatever you guys played on down in those southern tournaments? What was that like?
It was just like kind of crazy. Like just like something I've been dreaming about since I was a little kid, and I was very lucky that my parents were there. Like, and I don't know, it just felt like an unreal experience, and just like I don't know, I was excited.
And then, how do you end up at Iowa from Nevada? It seems like a weird two states. It's pretty far.
Yeah, it was definitely a far trek, but I just had the coaches reach out to me for a visit and stuff, and I like pretty much fell in love with the campus when I first got here my junior year, and then a couple weeks later I committed, and that was that.
Was it winter when you came on your visit?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I came here during a football game, and it was snowing, it was windy, it was freezing, but yeah, it was good though.
Do you remember what football game it was?
I don't know, actually. That would have been like 3 years ago, I think, which is kind of crazy. I was here in November though.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So even though does it snow where you're at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that wasn't like crazy.
No, we get 4 seasons where I am, but I mean it just doesn't get as cold. Like we have snow. Our ski resorts stay open until like July sometimes, but yeah.
And then I guess why softball the sport that you play? Because your mom's a track coach, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I assume you ran track?
No.
No?
So I played softball and basketball in high school. Softball is in the spring, unlike here, it's in the summer. So I kind of had to pick. I mean, in middle school I did track, but that was just like kind of for fun and just like because my mom was a track coach, just to kind of like, I don't know, do it for her. But I kind of was always basketball, softball, and then probably like around middle school, softball kind of ended up like dominating over basketball a little bit more. And so I just ended up sticking with softball a little more.
Do you remember why softball kind of took the lead in the sports that you like to do?
It was just something that I was better at. I mean, not that I wasn't like good at basketball, but I was just pitching. I always wanted to pitch, like no matter what, and I just realized that that was taking precedent over like my basketball practices and stuff, and I just was traveling more for softball than I was for basketball.
What's your mentality in the circle?
I just like probably just like staying confident no matter what, like even if I am having like kind of a rough start or a rough game, like just no matter what, like keeping my facial expressions like calm and like staying collective, because I'm not going to be perfect all the time, and I just have to like continue to like keep that in my mind.